Greetings, Ranger fans. Jake here for another Database Rangers Power Reviews review, where we're going to be taking a look at classic episodes of Database Rangers Power Reviews and providing some commentary, answering some questions. I see we already have quite a few people in the chat. Welcome, Sheree. Welcome, Sean. Welcome, Scott. We got a Triple S crew going on there. Welcome, Jenny. Good to see you this week. So obviously the big thing that I want to answer questions about first is the video that I just released about an hour ago, announcing the new series that I'm going to be doing with Morphin Legacy, the two different series. So the rapid run-throughs, those are going to be 1-minute recaps. Those will get posted through Morphin Legacy. So I'm going to be recording those quick. And then I'll have the more in-depth analysis with the deeper looks. Those are going to be through my channel, so I'm very excited for that collaboration with Morphin Legacy. And yeah, the rapid run-throughs will be about a minute, plus the intro and outro, and then the deeper looks will include the run-through within them, and then also have the analysis for a full 10-minute video. So I'm pretty excited for that. I have not yet seen the new preview clip. I saw that it was available on Twitter, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet because I was working on prepping the video to announce the new series. And I'm gonna watch it after after we're done with the live stream tonight. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I've been traditionally avoiding spoilers, specifically because I wanted to have that initial genuine reaction for the live reaction videos. But since I'm no longer doing live reactions for Power Rangers, and at this point I've already seen all of Re-Soldier, I'm not going to be avoiding spoilers as thoroughly as I used to. I'm still got to figure out exactly how I'm going to be, making these things happen from week to week. And the more time that I have to think about the episode, the more quickly I'm going to be able to get them out, I figure. So, welcome Hayden. Welcome Sir Paladin. It's great to see everybody here. To answer one question that I saw on the newest video, will these reviews be uploaded right after the episode finishes? No, because I do need time to write and film and edit and upload the videos. So I won't be able to do them right as the episode finishes. I don't have advanced access to the episodes. But I'm hoping to get a turnaround of same day. That's what I'm aiming for. We'll see if that ends up being really feasible as we sort of start off this new experiment. These are, I haven't tried scripting same-day reviews in quite some time. But I'm hoping I can keep them nice and tight and get them out by the evening is the goal, both for the rapid run-through on Morphin Legacy and the deeper look here on our channel. And to answer another question, didn't want that. There we go. Wrong tab there. Someone asked, since we're on the topic of Dino Fury, what do I think of the theme song? It's okay. I wish I had more things to say about it. The techno feel isn't necessarily my personal jam, but I'm sure it will grow on me. And yeah, I'm sorry that I can't get things out instantly, but obviously I need some time, and it took me over 2 years to release the legendary battle, so I feel like this is going to at least be faster than that. So there's 1 point of improvement there. And then some other questions from the recent live stream from last week. I know Sean was asking if I will pass my Power Ranger toys on to RJ someday. We'll see. we'll see if they're interested. I'm not going to force the toys onto them if they don't like them, but I'm sure that we'll have fun playing over the years. We've got a lot of years ahead. Um, and yeah, Sheree, you do raise the point that it is possible that maybe I might be able to get them out quicker, if we once again have access to the episodes during the hiatus, and then I might be able to have that quicker turnaround if I put them together over the summer. We'll see. Either way, it's going to be hopefully within a similar time frame to how I was doing the live reactions, just a lot shorter and a bit more focused is the goal. So that way I can write them while tending to RJ, and I can film them very quickly without having to leave RJ unattended for any without having to worry about interruptions, I guess you could say. Obviously RJ's always attended. MJ's taking care of them right now. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying for here, and it's mostly so that I don't need to worry about parental emergencies during a live video, but I still want to give everyone a proper analysis, and so I'm going to try and do that in a concise manner. That'll hopefully get to a wider audience through the collaboration with Morphin Legacy. So I'm looking forward to it. And it's really interesting that I'm actually... I didn't realize it until now, but I've actually now created a different series for each new showrunner of Power Rangers over the course of this channel, because the Database Rangers Power Reviews runs through the Zakor years, the live reactions have run through the Chip Lynn years, and now we have the Simon Bennett years about to kick off, and we're going to have a whole new way of reviewing those. So, it's just sort of funny how life works out that way sometimes. So we'll see how those all go. And now we've got, speaking of those classic Database Rangers Power Reviews, before we kick that off, let's always have our 3 non-controversial phrases that we should all be able to agree are equally non-controversial. So, number 1, say it with me, chat. Black lives matter. Number 2, say it with me, chat. Fascism is bad. And number 3, say it with me, chat. Superheroes are fun. So let's take a look at some with episode 14 of Database Rangers Power Reviews, where we review the 15th episode of Power Rangers Super Samurai, Stroke of Fate.
On Power Review. Welcome to year 1. Happy New Year!
Ooh. What, are we getting a buffer? What's happening? There it goes.
Some New Year's resolutions. Find a publisher. Make some new friends. Getting some cardio.
Yeah, I really wanted to sort of hammer in those resolutions for the year early on, so that it would be clear that that's something that we could expect from the show moving forward. And here is the introduction of one another of our major characters, although it's a bit of a sneaky introduction here. I forgot I was whistling the Power Rangers. Oh, the whistle bit.
Hi. That girl has a mean arm. Ow. Anywho, let's get back to our countdown.
The introduction of Mayo.
Now, what I failed to mention last time was the exceptionally long hiatus.
Mayo was a character that I definitely wanted to make sure to tease a little bit before I properly introduced her, because obviously her being also played by MJ, them having this being performed by the same person was going to be a major plot point, and I wanted to kind of hide the ball on that for a little bit.
Well, so we didn't advertise it at all. Well, then our next step should be obvious. Advertise the next episode? No,
This
that
is...
would be absurd. We should pull the next episode. What? We'll show it later. Later? After
This
the
is...
Halloween special. The audience will love it so much they won't care that we skipped it. Then Then we'll have them back. Sir, have you seen the Halloween special?
I wish I had.
I know I don't watch children's television.
This is just a fun bit that's nonsense.
Or something like that.
I just tore into the Nickelodeon scheduling there.
Moving on.
That was
How
cruel.
about we sum up the key plot points from last time?
Um,
Fine. Serena asked Decker to help split open the world, and the ground exploded from the accumulated misery caused by previous episodes.
Don't you mean caused in? You know what? Never mind. That sounds about right.
Samurai was such a
So
punching
let's
bag
find out
during
what
this
Decker
time.
decides to do about Serrator's crack. That didn't come out right. With episode 15 of Power Rangers Super Samurai, Stroke of Fate. After a quick previously on Power
I was
we pick up
very
right
much
where we
trying
left
to
off, with the Rangers recovering
always
from
find
the
something to
explosion.
change things up in every new
Somehow, despite
episode,
being
and I
separated
still,
into two groups of
to an
three
extent,
before
try
the
to do
blast,
that.
the main five all
Um,
ended up together, while Antonio
This
faced
episode,
off in the
you know,
If
I
you're expecting
tried
another
to
diagram
have that
like
little
this,
skit
I got nothing. He
bit
picked up the
to have
character
fun with,
which
and obviously the introduction of Mayo being major.
Xbox and unconscious Decker
Um,
along the road.
Yeah, this episode was a
Realizing
weird
his
one
only chance
because
to
it's
stop
one
Serrator's plan
that
was
really
wrong.
highlights
Slowly draws
how.
Oh, sorry there. Someone must have snipped the wire, suspending my disbelief. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt the episode this early on, but I
Oh
just can't
wow, that was a fun meta
At
joke
no
that I
point in
totally
the
forgot I
entirety
did.
of the series has any Power Ranger ever
I'm gonna
considered
try
attacking
and bring this style of humor a little bit more into the new run throughs as best I can.
The actor who plays Decker, who also portrayed Cole the Red Ranger
The-
in Power Rangers Wild Force. That character had a
Yeah,
perfect
this
opportunity
episode
to
was such a
eliminate
weird
Victor
one
Astor
because
after he'd been stripped of the powers of
it
Master Horse.
only worked. I imagine that it worked in
This was the
in
man
Shinkanger,
behind
where
every struggle
Decker's
he'd
counterpart
ever
Juzo
faced,
was
including
an
the death
absolute
of his
irredeemable
parents,
monster,
and was outright
but they
acting
made
for it.
Decker
Decker,
sympathetic
on the other hand,
for Samurai, and
clearly
it just
fond of
doesn't work.
Serrator, and is the victim of a curse due to no fault of his own. To even consider destroying him while he's
During
lying
this
helpless
this
is a
run of
weird
episodes,
case of
really my
value
goal
dip.
was always to just
Not
have
mention the
one
fact that this is
something
Antonio, arguably the
to
most lighthearted and
that we could call
soft-hearted
back
member of the
to,
team.
or that we could
Now, I
use
ask
for
you,
a
does
future
it seem
episode.
like a good fit?
This
Exactly.
whole episode, this whole run of episodes was
Walk away.
slowly building up to
You're not
the
going to
housewarming
try to
party,
detain him or capture him or-
and
Yeah.
establishing the reviews as being a collaboration between Database Ranger and Dr. K, instead of her just being the technical consultant.
Upon hearing that stopping Decker is the key,
Will we get their real names in these next few episodes? So, all right. So somebody, so Hayden asked, and I'm going to tell you the truth. My goal in that episode, in episode 91, the most recent episode of Power Reviews, was to make sure that Kay knew her name. I feel like it's less important for us to know her name than it is for her to know her name. And considering how the character has occasionally been used in more recent iterations of Power Rangers, I didn't want to. I didn't want to try and. I didn't want to spoil that.
Well, Serrator did say that Decker would live, but we know memory of dying. So it's entirely possible that his curse prevents him from ever recalling his past. And anyone who described it to him would result in that information being erased as well. Which would explain why Daiyu was so despondent when she was first discovered.
There's some fun bits of foreshadowing right there.
Great theory, Doctor. Have you ever thought about taking a more active role in the review?
And here we go.
No.
Setting things up for her taking the more active role in the reviews, and that was one of our first. That was our first big clue. That Database has amnesia, because we hadn't established it yet. And I forgot how much I hammered it in that bit while still making it work with what we saw later. with
Meanwhile, it
Database's
looks like
memory,
someone has still remembered that the city isn't
with Database deliberately avoiding answers about his past for a good long while.
True samurai, the solution to the problem suddenly pops into both
Now, all right, yeah, you know what, Sheree, I can see that as sort of being the
Sorry, I just had a
Dr. K being the RPM universe equivalent of Kendall Morgan. Well, I will acknowledge that there hasn't been a Dr. K established in the Dino Charge universe, and I have not I have not accounted for a version of Dr. K that would be in the Power Rangers Dino Charge universe. So I can roll with that.
Only to be interrupted by Kevin and Mike. Dismissing them both as unworthy opponents, he escapes and continues on his way. Mike, that's all well and good, but shouldn't you be going after him? Is giving Antonio a pep talk really more important? Meanwhile, Jaden, Emily, and Mia have been attempting to retrieve Urmasa from Serrator, but to no avail. The Nylok is still too much for them, and their battle is only interrupted by Decker's long-awaited arrival. Serrator hands him the sword, ordering him to
They really play Decker up as this oddly evil figure for someone who almost never does really much of anything outside of try to have a duel with Jaden. He never does anything to anyone else. He just always tries to duel Jaden. That's all he does.
Without the final strike, Serrator's plan falls apart. The flames of the Netherworld die down and dissipate. Just as Bulk and Spike complete their
I wish that Hasbro would reference Power Reviews, but I don't. I will admit I don't see it happening. Just because, among other things,
see you at the finale, guys.
writers I think are limited on what they can do with regards to referencing fan works. Legally speaking, I suspect that they would be concerned over even watching anything like that. That being said, I would love to collaborate, so it would no longer be a legal issue. Simon Bennett, please hire me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the approach to continuity that Dino Fury takes. By all accounts, there's going to be some good use of continuity in the series, what I've been hearing. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Dino Fury brings. But yeah, one big thing that I always wanted to try and make sure to be able to do with Power Reviews, with each step along the way, is in these early episodes, place all the seeds so that I'd be able to evolve the show into the story-driven series that it was always intended to be. Because I knew that the structure of him sitting down to talk about an episode of Power Rangers was not going to really work once the show became more action-driven. So I wanted to make sure to create the squee as a device to get outside of the apartment, and I wanted to make sure to also start setting things up for others to partake in the reviews as well, so that he doesn't need to break from the action of the episode. I want to go for something far more integrated than what Linkara does. Linkara being the other most prominent example of story-driven review series. And I never wanted to have an episode that didn't contribute to the story in some way. In this, I really wanted to make sure that I had that bit of foreshadowing with Kay, so that when we do have the later reveals about his identity, it feels like the groundwork is there. When we do have Kay join in on the reviews more concretely, that groundwork is laid. when we meet Mayo in person, have that groundwork laid.
Overall, though, I do feel the story is fairly well executed.
So there's always more that I was always looking to lay groundwork for. And we're going to see quite a few things be addressed in these upcoming episodes. The next episode in particular, as you might gather, episode 92 coming at the end of this month, you should see the trailer if you haven't seen it yet, is going to be addressing some very interesting things with regards to the story of Power Reviews. And there we go. There's episode 14. And don't want that to jump over to the next one quite yet. All right. So, yeah. Again, these... there's not a whole lot to dive into in these early episodes, outside of just... I always wanted to have that one piece of story at the very least, and then try and do something fun that I hadn't done before. Like the previous episode where I did the whole thing with the whiteboard, and then this episode I had the fun little interview with the Nick executive. But one thing that's funny is that I almost forgot about is that jacket comes back. Later on in the summer season, I actually do, I believe I make reference to, I already do have a jacket I can use. Because I have the jacket from this episode, for when I need to sneak into the Alphabet Soup facility, in episode 38. So, even though that episode's still another 24 episodes away, I ended up realizing that was laying some good groundwork. Although in this particular case, it was more of a happy coincidence. In that when I went to write that episode, I'm like, oh, I'm going to reference this one. I'm not going to give anything away with regards to 92. There's definitely going to be some interesting reveals going on that I have teased for a very, very long time. And this is also an episode that has been a very, very long time in the making, which will become very obvious when you see it. Just how long ago I started working on that one. It's not actually that complex an episode. It's just one that required the initial work to be done very, very far in advance. And yeah, decontextualization was a major arc word throughout all of the Samurai reviews. And part of it is that you are seeing Database outside of the context of who he is. You're seeing his relationship with Kay outside the context of how they met. And obviously, we're still working towards that. We're still working towards how Dr. K and Database Ranger first met and started living in that apartment together. And it is something that does, that is obviously very important to the series and will be revealed before the end of it. But I'm very much looking forward to that. So, yeah, I know. I'm sure many of you may have some predictions about what's coming next. But I doubt that you're going to be able to fully predict some of the reveals we got coming up. There are going to be some interesting conversations, much like the first time that he had a chat with the landlord. So we're going to be learning a fair bit fairly soon. I'm just double checking to make sure to see if I have any other things. Let's see. But yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm just looking here. Final episode of Power Reviews ends on a bang. I am looking to end it on a high note as best I can. At the very least, I'm looking to end it on a very conclusive note. The final episodes are going to be big. They're going to be very big, and I'm hoping to film with all the people that I'm looking to film with across the course of this summer. So I do still need to coordinate how filming this summer will go, assuming that people can actually get together for filming. But basically, once you get into those final, the final 6 episodes are just going to be just a roller coaster ride. Right now, 91 was a little bit of a breather. The next few episodes also, while there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff going on character-wise, are going to be a little bit less intense action-wise. But there's definitely going to be some very big reveals coming your way with every episode moving forward for the characters, and as we move them towards their final conclusions. I'm really looking forward to finally being able to share with everyone how this series ends. Because keep in mind, the episode that we just watched was originally aired back in 2013. So 8 years ago. Over 8 years ago, I aired that episode. And I knew then what the final episodes of the show were going to be. So it's been a long time in the making. We still got a couple years. We still got about a year and a half left to go to get there. But I'm looking forward to it. They're a little bit more than a year and a half, about 20 months. And it also is fun seeing people react to which episodes I choose. Obviously, yeah, the choice of And Action as our next episode for Power Reviews, which will be premiering next Sunday, which is crazy to me. I've got a lot of work to do between now and then. Was, I think, something of an unexpected choice, specifically because we had already done an RPM episode for year 3, and that calls to mind something that I mentioned on Twitter. I'm not just doing one episode from each of the old seasons. I'm only drawing from those first 17 seasons, but obviously there's 20 episodes of year 3, so there are some seasons that will get revisited, and there are a couple seasons that won't get revisited. I'm going to be focusing primarily on episodes that I felt were very important to the story in terms of matching the tone well of whichever episode I was trying to review, or whichever part of the story I was trying to tell. And also episodes that I feel are important to the history of the franchise, and episodes that I really enjoy. So episode 92 being the only behind the scenes episode of Power Rangers, I felt like I kind of had to address that one. 93 is going to be a personal favorite. 94, we're going to be seeing a sort of this alternating between some personal favorites and episodes that tackle elements of the franchise that no other episodes really tackle. There are a few where I'm like, okay, but do I want to do I really want to do this episode when I'm already doing another episode from this season? I'm like, but I gotta do that episode. I can't not do that episode and still feel like I'm giving a complete retrospective of the franchise through the story. Oh my goodness, Trickster Treat. yes, I'm looking forward to that was quite possibly one of the most fun episodes to put together. I do love that review so much. Obviously, that's going to take a few more months before we get to that, because that is episode 44 of Power Reviews. But yeah, we're chugging along. Obviously, output on this channel is stepping up. We had a little bit of a lull after the live reactions ended, especially since we did the live reactions for season 2 of Beast Morphers a little bit early, to pave the way for us preparing for RJ's birth. But now RJ is coming up on 2 months old, so we're sort of settling into our lives here, and we're going to be sort of moving forward into the next phase of the channel with the big collaboration with Morphin Legacy, having that set schedule for releasing the remaining 9 episodes of Power Reviews, so that we can conclude on our 10-year anniversary of the show. And then seeing what comes next. I'm going to try to keep having scripted videos released every month. Obviously, for the month of March, it's looking like that'll primarily be the deeper look and rapid run-throughs. But if I'm able to fit in a bonus video, I probably will. But we'll see where I'm at. I don't want to push things too hard. And I don't want it to delay the release of episode 93 in April. So we've got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff coming out, and I'm hoping that'll bring a revived attention to the channel, because we have been, I think, kind of tapering off on new viewership over the last few years. Still holding strong, but I would love to see a renewed interest in the channel as a whole as we're going towards the big finale of the series that really started it all and getting towards our 10-year anniversary. So I think that wraps things up for this week. I can't wait to see you all again next week to see what you think of the new videos for Dino Fury, and then the week after to see what you have to think about the newest episode of Power Reviews, which is going to be coming next weekend. So exciting stuff. So let's close things out with our remaining 3 non-controversial phrases that should be considered equally non-controversial to say. Number 1, say it with me, chat. Love is love. Number 2, say it with me, chat. Trans rights are human rights. And number 3, say it with me, chat. Robots are cool. So, with all that said, I can't wait to see you again next week, and I can't wait for you to see the new series this weekend with the rapid run-throughs and a deeper look at Power Rangers Dino Fury. But until next time, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you.